Overnight's OVN token has been on a decent rally ever since they launched, and they bottomed down, and here's why. Now, surely the bull run has a hand into this because most alts have been going up. But DeFi assets and DeFi tokens specifically have usually a tiny reason behind them going up, and it's usually yield driven. All right, so it has nothing to do with some advancement or some innovation or some news coming from the team itself. It's actually the contrary. There has been some controversial theories going around, and there has been an unfortunate incident that the team went basically into an argument with the ThenaFi team, and they came to the conclusion where they sold their VNFT, and then eventually they gave that money back, but there was a small interaction, and the intricacies of all of this is a bit unknown, but eventually they solved the situation, but it wasn't so ethical. Right, so that's my point on this. I mean, there have been tweets on this. I can link them in the description below. I might. So some people have followed this. I mean, of course, those labeled as scammer, blah blah. Never mind. But eventually, they have came to the resolution, and I hope none of this will happen again. I really do. Sorry to interrupt you there, folks. I just want to quickly chime in and mention that we are currently working on a project called Numerical. It's DeFi as a service, meaning you'll get exposed to real DeFi protocols that generate real revenue, aka real yield, and you're gonna get a cut of this without doing the setup yourself. All you have to do is enter, claim, or withdraw. Very simple. So your capital is available at all times to take, and you can choose the option where to invest. More details in the description and in our community chat. But going back to the OVN price action. So OVN has liquidity pools across all EVM chains, basically. It's their native asset, it's used for governance, and you can also earn yield on third-party protocols as well as on their own native dApp. So if you go on their native dApp right now, if you go to insurance, you will basically partake into the distribution of this insurance fund. It's on optimism. The cumulative return right now is upwards of 28%, and that's over 5 months. So if you annualize this, that's a bit above 65%, which is not bad, but nothing close to the 453% APR that you can snag on Aerodrome right now if you add liquidity with USD Plus. And that is why, and that is the main reason why the token is up. Yield on third-party protocols that are being propelled up, and Aerodrome, we have spoken about Aerodrome. It's Aero token. Ever since its Coinbase listing, it's popping, it's doing well, and with it, all the liquidity pools are earning a decent APR. And when people see big numbers, they tend to flock into something, and hence why liquidity pool pumped, the APR is doing well, and people are looking to make the money back they put in by purchasing OVN just by, leveraging Aerodrome. 8 million, 4.9 million FDV market cap, that's amazing, all right? But again, there's always risk here because the moment the ship turns around, people are gonna sell their OVN tokens. The people who don't really care about the protocol, they're just here for the yield. They will upsell them on the liquidity pool. They will take that USD plus and they won't look back. The moment that number drops, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. Even XtraFi, you can 2x your leverage yield, but there's no USDC right now, unfortunately. But if there is, there's this option as well. Never mind the APY, that's basically just factoring in. If you stay in, the APR stays the same and you're auto-compounding your equity. But that's usually something that rarely happens. So going back to the idea that with high APRs comes high risk, because at the end of the day, all that liquidity that has been added is just due to the fact that people can earn on it a high APR. So keep in mind that FOMOing here might be a bit risky, all right? So I would suggest looking at Aerodrome itself because that is the reason OVN is doing well right now, all right? And everyone who wanted to get on the ship and earn that high APR potentially is there right now. So I would think that there might not be enough demand, all right, to keep the price at a certain level. I might be wrong, but who knows? We'll see what happens if things develop further. If Aero keeps going up or at least stabilizes, then the demand will still exist. But if you don't want to, touch a volatile asset like OVN, there are also other options on overnight like USD Plus, USDC Plus, and USDT Plus, as well as DAI Plus. They own a rebase right? Just by holding them. And there's a range of APRs depending on the chain and depending on the strategy. You can click individually on each of these and you can go over and check whatever is happening there. What is the annualized return? What is the average? What is the all-time return, for example, whatever happened here? So lots of data to go through. And each chain does have a separate TVL and a separate average return eventually. So it's a nice idea to just look at the full picture overall to understand what's going on. And you can even use these tokens on Aerodrome as well and Velodrome if you wanna use liquidity pools to earn their native assets. So there are plenty of options. The APR are doing nice, but of course, because it's a less risky approach, you won't get as much as that beautiful number, all right? But I really hope I brought you some clarity here and I portrayed the risk as much as I can, because at the end of the day, you're not only relying on whatever you see in front of you, there are so many intricacies around you and you should pay attention to them and you should factor them in when you want to take the risk and, you know, go the long way at the end, right? We do have a Telegram group. It's public, it's open, it's quite cool. Lots of individuals who are well-mannered. That's very important. Respect is always on top, top priority there, and we talk lots of crypto, DeFi, and everyone is enthusiastic. You'll learn a lot and you'll have fun. Link will be below if you want to join us. And with that, see you in the next one. Have a good one.